What's up YouTube, Playmatter here. I'm sure you guys are all just as excited about this ban list as I am. It's probably my favourite list that we've had in the last 2 years. And yes, as pointed out by Slate Warrior, my ban list prediction video was pretty wrong. So yeah, and then I was looking through what cards were limited, and I was wondering, like, hang on a second, why is Nitrocell restricted to 1? And then I read its secondary effect, which I don't think I've actually ever really taken notice of before. When this card is sent from the hand to the graveyard, target one flip effect monster in your graveyard, except this card, return that target to the hand. And then just thought, okay, so that's pretty good. If that came to 2, then Shaddoll could abuse it, or whatever, you know. If you use it with a Super Poly, if you use it with a Shaddoll Fusion, if you use it for a discard, then it's a mandatory effect to add back a free flip effect monster, i.e. one of your Shaddolls. So that was pretty good, and it's just in this list because then it makes the rest of the list be in the right columns. So like there's 2, 2, 3, 3, rather than kind of being a bit weird and higgledy-piggledy. So here's the list. I'm sure you've already seen it. So we have Soul Charger 1. I really do, you know, this is a card pretty much everyone expected to go to 1. I think it's fair to have 1. I think it's fair to have it 1. I don't think it needs to be banned. I don't think anyone really felt that it had to be banned. However, I'm pretty sure that it was a 2-card combo with Lone Fire Blossom and Monster Reborn a few formats ago that was a 2-card Quasar, or a 2-card Shooting Star Dragon, I can't remember which. But Soul Charge definitely improves that play. It can bring back 2 Lone Fire Blossoms. And with Glow Up Bulb and TG Hyper Librarian and Formula Synchron, it's all pretty crazy. Which obviously brings us on to Glow Up Bulb. I don't think anyone expected this to come back. This card has been on wish lists for like the last 2 years. People have been wanting to play Plants. Plants is one of people's favourite decks of all time, you know. But people had kind of just given up on it coming back. I think it's come back partly just to sell the Quasar and 5Ds, because they really want to push Synchros and sell a bunch of the 5Ds, Legendary Collection 5Ds. But yeah, this card is one of the best cards in the game. There's no reason it should have come back. It's a generic level 1, mill 1 tuner, and it can be used in pretty much any deck. So yeah, surprised it came back, but at the same time I'm glad. I do like Glow Up Bulb, and I do like the plant deck as well. So I guess we'll just see how it goes. This is also the reason I feel that Vanish's Emptiness didn't go to 1 this format. And so yeah. Then we have the Archfiend going to 1. That completely just destroys the loop. And I think that Konami don't like loop decks. So there's a couple of things you still can do. If you have this in Armageddon Night, you can still send Stygian Street Patrol to grave, and then special summon this from hand, overlay, send it to the grave, and then use Infinity Launcher to kind of get another search. But it's a lot smaller loop now, obviously without the 3 Archfiend, and it won Worlds. So I think the deck was pretty much 100% likely to get hit. The next card we have is a card that's been banned for, I'm not sure if I'm counting this right, but maybe 11 years. So yeah, we have a card that hasn't seen play for the last 11 years. There are Yu-Gi-Oh players that aren't even as old as this card has been banned for. Yeah. And anyone who has been playing since the game was released probably has a decent stash of Regekis, so they've made quite a bit of profit out of that. Do I think it's going to change the game? No, not really. I think people aren't even considering it as a staple. It's going to depends what deck you play as to whether or not you play the card in the main deck. I personally won't be playing it in Shaddolls, which is the deck I'm currently planning to play for YCS London. We have Super Polymerization. Super Poly did need to go to 1. I'm glad it went to 1 already, because obviously as soon as they bring out the Fire and Earth Shaddolls, it just makes Super Poly far too good. I'm glad that it stayed at 1, just so that you can abuse it and as a one-of. So yeah, no, I think it's good that it went to 1, and it is a Shaddoll hit. It is a Shaddoll hit, but I don't think it'll change the deck or change how good the deck is. We saw several decks in YCS Madrid not maining it, and a couple not even siding it, and still topping the top 16, top 8 as well. Okay, so that's all the cards going to 1. We now have 2 Gail. I mean, Blackwing have been getting its support back slowly but surely. I don't really think it's that relevant. I don't think it'll change the game. I don't think it'll make Blackwing participate in the meta, to be honest. Just watch out for Blackwings at your locals, because if you don't have anything for them, then they can do some stuff. But personally, I'm really not that bothered about Blackwings. Gauze is now at 2. No one was playing it at 1. People might start playing it now at 2. People might start playing it at 1, and then people worry about there being 2 played in like plant-based decks. But I'm not entirely sure if it'll get played at all, just because there's so many things at the moment, like Vanity's Emptiness, and especially against decks that you might expect to play Gauze. If they don't have any spell or traps, then you're just going to play Vanity's Emptiness and attack with all your guys. Then 2 Ceasefire. This kind of gives a little bit of a side card against Shaddoll. It means they don't get any of their flip effects when you flip up their monsters. However, you can chain Shadow Games to it, so it's not really that great, because you can flip your monsters up anyway and get their effects. But yeah, I think Chain Ben might play it, and if you can play Decree in your side deck for the next YCSs in America and in London, then you probably should. 2 Transmigration Prophecy. I don't think this will change the game. You can leap. However, we can now leap Transmigration Prophecy, so you can send 1 Transmigration Prophecy and another card. But I'm not really sure if that's relevant now. There are just better cards at doing effectively the same thing. And then we have 3 Wolfback, so everyone's hyping the Fire Fists right now, and it's like, this guy just isn't as good as Altair. I'm comparing it to Satella here, and it's just completely outclassed by Satella in basically every way. The only advantage really is that Fire Fist aren't lights or darks, so they can't get super polyed yet. But I really don't think that Wolfback will have a huge effect on the game, and that Fire Fists will come back into the format at the moment, although potentially in the future. We have 3 Magician of Faith, pretty irrelevant. I quite like it in... And then we have 3 Rota. I definitely didn't think this card would come to 3, but yeah, why not? I guess a lot of warrior decks get a lot of support from this. Satella stays really good from this. And finally, we have 3 Formula Synchron. I don't think it does anything different at 3 than it does at 2. If you've got 2, then that's, I'm pretty sure that you don't need to play 3 ever in any deck, to be honest. But I guess we'll just find out more later on in this format. So yeah, that's my initial thoughts and reactions to this ban list. I'll be doing more videos based on new deck profiles for the new format, and I'm going to YCS London, so I'm really going to focus on the next 3 weeks videos of preparing for YCS London and discussing the results of the YCS in America that's on next weekend, and posting more DN Duel videos in the new format, with me playing Shaddolls, as well as what I'm sure will be a lot of ruling questions that come out with so many new decks available, and potentially joining the top tiers. And just a little warning for anyone who is going to YCS London, I want you to know that shooting Quasar Dragon will be legal. On the 24th of October, we are having the Legendary Collection 5Ds set, which has, and Quasar is the promo for that. And Vanity's Emptiness came out in the 5D sets, so I really wouldn't be surprised if this card gets a reprint 2 days before we have our YCS. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Have a good day, guys. Enjoy this new list, and Playmatter signing out.